All right, Lamar Odom says Vince Carter's the only thing that saved Mark Cuban from catching the ass whooping from him during a live NBA game in the 2011-2012 NBA season in which he played for the Dallas Mavericks. Let's talk about it. We back. Goodfellas Sports TV in the building. Appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Won't miss another video, and do me a favor and share the video. And yeah, man, Mark Cuban got out of hand, and this ain't the only time he didn't got out of hand. When people was talking about the NFL and they trying to make it like the NFL is an isolated major sports league in America that only had racism in it. I'll say, what about the NBA? Just because they had two black owners in Bob Johnson and Michael Jordan on their BT, and then y'all know Michael Jordan, he sold it to Mike, don't mean it's not racist. And then some of the stuff that Mark Cuban done before, he told King Mothers Martin she raised a thug in the stands. He said that the European white player is smarter than the American black player. So he said a lot of shit that was really borderline. But Odom says in 2011-12 season was hell, and Mark Cuban was heckling him day and night. Cuban would say, "You were so fucking slow and out of shape." Odom claims Cuban yelled during one dead ball situation, "Waste of effing money," and it'll go on. But at the end of the day, what type of owner does that? You know what I'm saying? That's some real slave owner type of ish right there. And he yelling. I understand, Lamar Odom ain't always took the game serious. He dealt with his demons, dealing with the devil's dandruff. And, he had his shortcomings, but, Mark Cuban, you can't be saying that. And Lamar Odom, and I know he from the streets, he should have called his union up and made a grievance against Mark Cuban. All right. But, hey, he got to have a professionalism about him. And with the big three, and shout out to Joe Johnson today for signing to my Detroit Pistons, and shout out to my Detroiters out there as well. You got to have some type of respect for the game. But Mark Cuban, you got to respect people, human beings. But he said Cuban extended his right foot and kicked my shin, said, "Come on, motherfucker." He shouted. So right then and there, he should have got his ass whooped. Dead ball, no ball, bouncing ball, somebody dunking the ball. The cheerleaders and the mascot dancing, I would have busted him dead in his mouth. His career would have been over with, like when old boy split open Rudy Tomjanovic's face on the court. I don't even know if he ever played in the league again, but go back and look at Rudy Tomjanovich get his face broken in a live game. There's blood everywhere. Okay, yeah, the coach that coached for the Rockets and the Lakers for a minute, he got his shit split open. 70s basketball was jail ball. But at the end of the day, like, Cuban, Odom was supposed to do something about that. Maybe not physically, so he could still make money, but he should have took a grievance up with his union. And the NBA union is pretty freaking good. It's not the NFL union where they're going to lay back and take a bag of money to hang you out there like that. But it continues on. And he says, "I was stunned. This wasn't a tap. I felt it. That was the last straw. It was painfully clear he did not respect me as a man." And that's what it is. He said, "I felt the adrenaline rushing through my body. In an instant, I was transported back to Linden Boulevard, where the slightest act of disrespect could be fatal. As I sprang up, Vince Carter, who was sitting next to me, grabbed my arm tightly and leaned in." And then it'll continue on in a minute. And he right. At the end of the day, dudes that was on the block, dudes that grew up in the hood, dudes that sold whatever or went up by the G code. You can go to corporate America. You can put the fake smile on. You can act like you with corporate America, and you can survive in that type of environment. You know what I'm saying? But somebody push a certain amount of button, a certain amount of disrespect. Maybe they bumped you, they pushed you, they call you a bitch, they call you something is gonna resonate with you, and it's gonna take you back to the hood. And he said, "Low, chill out." Vince calmly said, "Don't do it. It's not worth it." He asked, I can say beyond a shadow of a doubt that Vince Carter saved me from catching the charge and ending my career with disgrace. And he right. And that's why Vince Carter's still in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Vince Carter is a pro's pro. You know what I'm saying? He's good for corporate business. So shout out to Vince Carter. And then people want to know why Vince Carter in the league and Melo nice, because Vince Carter is a professional. Vince Carter is a vet. Vince Carter, ain't no telling how many times Vince Carter done saved a player from doing dumb shit. This is why you had them old vets sitting on the end of the bench. It ain't just about playing, scoring 20, scoring 50. This is why you get the Joe Johnsons, the Vince Carters, guys with great integrity and a great reputation, because you raising young kids. You got a lot of 18, 19, 20, 21, 25-year-old grown men on the team that don't know how to be men. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to be men. So those vets, they raise those young players up, and they dispatch BS like this from happening. This is why you see that old nigga on the end of the bench still getting a check and not playing. What he bring in practice and the integrity and the grown man integrity he bring to the team, you can't measure that in stats. But you know, Lamar Odom is a good one. Had that been Ron Artest, it wouldn't have been no grab of the arm. Had that been Zach Randolph, it wouldn't have been no grab of the arm. He got the right one. You know what I'm saying? Kicking the player, and then Lamar Odom not telling the league and not I guess snitching on the situation and saving it for later. That makes it all different. He finished the season out. He only averaged 6 points and whatever and a couple rebounds, you know. And he was fat and out of shape and lazy. He was fat and out of shape in the Big Three this year, and that's why they kicked him out. But, you know, it's amazing. You know, and people just think that the NFL is an isolated incident. It's not. Just because they might have younger owners. Dan Gilbert said, you know, some people read into that LeBron thing when he left the first time as a slave master mentality type of thing. You know, you see it. Donald Sterling wasn't the only one. It's people in the NBA, owners in the NBA that was friends with him. Magic Johnson was his boy. He went to his parties and everything. You know, but I'll link the article in the description. Man, I'm glad Lamar Odom didn't do it, but it would have been a sight to see. It would have got people stop talking about the malice in the palace shit. But hey, appreciate the love, support. Don't forget we on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. I do appreciate that, man. Please share the video. Check out our NBA playlist, MMA, boxing, NFL, and much, much more. And let me know what you think about the story. What would you have done? Put hands on Mark Cuban and let it ride. We out.